Namaste, all my beautiful people. How are you doing today? And welcome to the alternate point of view. I just posted a video earlier that I posted last year. I reposted it on this channel since this channel has been rebooted. Like everything else in the world today, we're just rebooting and remaking. But I wanted to repost the video about Timothy Ferriter because his wife's trial is coming up. They keep postponing it. So I wanted to let you guys watch that video so you could be kind of caught up when her trial comes up. So anyway, welcome to the alternate point of view, you guys. I'm Tracy Lee. And thank you so much for all of your comments. Thank you so much for watching the videos. Thank you so much if you've come over from TikTok. I'm not a huge fan of TikTok, but I appreciate everyone who's come over from there. I just think there's a lot of bad things that happen on TikTok, but there's also been some good things that have come out of it. So I appreciate everyone who is new, and I appreciate everyone who is been watching this channel and helping it grow and help it grow naturally, which has been really fun. So I appreciate it. And I really, really appreciate the comments. And I would love to hear what cases you would like to hear next. I do believe the next case that we are going to talk about is probably going to be the doomsday cult prophet Chad Daybell, because I am a Christian and I do find it kind of strange when people use God as a reason for the things that they do, especially to their children, because I think that it is obviously false prophecy. And I hate that they're calling him a prophet, because there are no more prophets. There's no such thing. So anyway, what I want to talk about today is yet again, Riley Strain. This whole Riley Strain situation is really, really bothering me. It's been bothering me because it just doesn't end. Like, it just is such a mystery, right? So what I keep hearing is more things coming out. So apparently the Nashville Police Department has closed the case. They found his body in the river, right? And they did an autopsy, and they're done. They've just been like, okay, we're good, we're done. So we found him, and the family has just been so torn up, of course, that they just wanted to get him home, and they just wanted to, have a proper service for him, and, take care of the everything, because they've been waiting so long to find him. And I just feel absolutely terrible for his family. But of course, they wanted to have some more information. And as it turns out, of course, the police feel that there is no foul play, which I'm not saying that there is or isn't. I don't have any proof that there is, but I do feel like there is some possibly after stuff that has happened, right? So I had someone criticize me on my last video because he said that their homelessness doesn't make a place more or less dangerous. And I said I beg to differ, because I live in Austin and I have experienced how the homeless people here are, and whether they're mentally ill or whether they've been homeless for a while and they resort to certain measures or what have you, whatever, it is what it is. But it doesn't have to be that way, because I believe that our country shouldn't have homelessness. I believe that our veterans should be taken care of. I believe that we shouldn't be sending money to other countries when we have our own country here that should be taken care of. I believe that if Christianity weren't being so bashed and so split apart, and our country weren't so divided, that we should be able to help our own people in our own country. So I don't believe that homelessness should be an issue. So, but unfortunately it is. And I'm not saying that anyone did anything to Riley. I believe that Riley was possibly either had some pre-drinking with his fraternity brothers before they went out, or he was possibly roofied at the bar. I don't know. We don't know those details. We will find out, because the toxicology report hasn't come out yet. Also, I believe that, excuse me, I usually yawn a lot during these because I talk too fast. So find it impossible to believe that I'm from the South because I talk really fast. But anyway, I believe that whatever happened to Riley when he started walking in the wrong direction and he didn't know where he was going, he wasn't about his faculties, and he did run into that pole and he did hit his head and he was out. Like, he was knocked out for a little while before he regained consciousness and got back up and started walking in the other direction. And then he started turning around and walking back in the opposite direction again. And then at some point he had contact with a police officer and he seemed okay. I don't think that he was sober sounding. I think he was just trying to sound sober because he was obviously not. I think we have all done that when we have been drunk, walking around, and especially when you don't know where you're at and you want to sound as sober as you can in front of a police officer, right? So anyway, I feel like there's some people that they questioned, homeless people that they questioned, and Riley fell down into some bushes from what the story goes. And somebody asked, like, who is that? What happened? And they said, some guy is drunk. It's fine. It's okay. It's just a drunk guy. And everybody just kind of, let it go. So the next thing you know, Riley's body is found 11 miles downriver, and he's found without his jeans or his cowboy boots. Now, Riley is 6'6", so I can't imagine what size boots he wore, but one of the scientists at the Body Farm in Tennessee, which I studied forensics, I studied criminal justice in college, so I've always wanted to go to the Body Farm in Tennessee. It has been like a dream of mine to go there because that is the most renowned study of forensics in anything in this country. It's amazing. So he says that it would be almost impossible for Riley to lose his jeans in the water because obviously if you've never been in the water with wet jeans, I mean, it's not really easy to get wet jeans off your body. Also, cowboy boots, those don't come off very easily. They have the loop on your cowboy boots on each side for a reason. It is so you can get the cowboy boots on and off. So I don't think it would be possible, and nor did this professor, teacher, scientist, whatever he is at the Body Farm, did not feel that it would be possible with the current, would not be able to take those pieces of clothing and boots off of his body, nor would he, even if he'd gotten hung on a tree limb or anything like that. But the most telling thing that was found in the original autopsy was that there was no water in Riley's lungs, which means that Riley did not drown. So I'm not saying there was necessarily any foul play. What I'm saying is that maybe, just maybe, when Riley possibly fell, rolled down the hill, he hit his head, there has to be some sort of blunt force trauma somewhere, some sort of trauma to have knocked him out. And then maybe he rolled into the water. Or maybe he passed out and someone did try to assist him and they couldn't revive him and they just pushed him into the river. I'm not saying that anyone did anything maliciously to him, but someone did take his boots and his jeans. Shockingly enough, they left his watch on and his shirt, but they don't have a phone. They don't have his boots or his jeans. Someone found his debit card. They don't have a license, which is something you need to get into the bars. So I just am just really shocked that just because they found his body, that they have closed the case. And I think that is a mistake. I think that even though they believe there's no foul play, maybe he accidentally fell and maybe he ended up rolling into the river. I don't know. But there may not be an actual suspect per se, but there has to be an answer. It's kind of like, you know, I mean, I would be, as a parent, as a mother, I would just not be able to accept that, you know, if there's no water found in his lungs, he did not drown. So what happened to him? Did he hit his head? So that is why I feel like the autopsy is not complete. So I hate that his family is now having to go and suffer through yet another autopsy and wait for results from that autopsy. And I also feel like the autopsy results came back rather quickly. It takes a while for autopsy results to come back. The toxicology report will take a while to come back. So I feel like things are not making sense. Like, make it make sense. Like, what's going on in our world today? Like, make it make sense. So if anyone has anything to add, I would really appreciate any comments you have. But I feel like, again, I will point out that Luke Bryan owns the bar, and I like Luke Bryan, but I feel as if the bar holds some responsibility that they didn't kick the whole party out and they only kicked out Riley. So I feel like there's a mistake there. I think there's some laws that need to be changed. And I feel like when their family has their faculties about them and they have their wherewithal, that they will be able to possibly change some laws. There should be some law changes. I thought there already were by this time, because it has been, never mind how long it's been since I've bartended. But I believe that there should be some laws in place that you should have to send the entire party out of your bar. Someone should be known as the designated driver, like, who's your designated driver of this group? There should be, who can I call? Who can we get? Who gets the Uber? Which one of your party is getting the Uber to get out of here? What you have to make every effort possible to get them out of your establishment safely. And then again, I would say everyone goes, not just one. And if your friends leave you on the street and they're like, hey man, you go to the hotel, we're going to these other bars, those are just crappy friends. Those are crappy friends. Those are not your friends. So I would just say, as far as the bar accountability, that again, I feel like they didn't do what they should probably be enforced to do, especially in a place like Nashville that is a really fun place. And I think this should be the same everywhere. Like we have here in Austin, we have 6th Street, we have Rainey Street, we have a lot of party places, and people are drunker than Cooter Brown around here, and they do some crazy stuff. But there is a lot of bad things that happen here. There is a lot of homeless people on 6th Street. They charge you to pet their animals. They use their pets to get money from you. And they also rob you when they know that you're drunk. And there's been several shootings on 6th Street. Look it up. And all Austin has done is move the homeless people out in different areas, which has caused crime to go up in those areas. So it does correlate. So don't tell me that it doesn't make a difference. It does correlate. And we don't have the money, and they say that that's not true. We have the money to help. They don't want the help. They make more money standing on the corner begging for money than they would if we gave them help. And a lot of these people, which is sad, but are felons or are too mentally ill to take care of themselves. And we don't build buildings and places for them to live. Instead, we're building skyscrapers. We've ruined the view of downtown Austin for millionaires to live down there. You don't know how much it costs to live in downtown Austin, and you have to step over a homeless person to get into your $1 million condo. It's insane. So that's what it's like living here in downtown Austin. I don't live in downtown Austin. I live in the outskirts of Austin because I used to love Austin. This is where I always wanted to be because Austin was fun. It was weird. It was really cool. It was beautiful. And now they're just ripping it apart. Absolutely ripping it apart and tearing it up for all the people that are moving in here. And now no one can afford to live here. Regular people can't afford to live here because it is impossible. And that's why there's so many homeless people here, because they came here for the same purpose I did, which was because Austin was so cool and it was fun, and they thought, oh, I can get a job there and make something of myself there. Austin is where dreams go to die. That's why there's so many homeless people here. So it's really sad. People get caught up in things here, and it's sad, and it just stinks. And then, you know, I hear all the Californians that are here, and they're like, oh my God, it's so cheap. It's so great here. I just love it. That's because you had a house in California and taxes in California that were taking all your money from you. And you could live in the hills, and you could afford a lot. And now here, you know, you can afford like 4 houses compared to your 1 house in California. So yeah, you do have it better here. But the average Joe in Austin, no, that doesn't happen here. So also the same thing in Nashville. And that's because all of the famous people in Nashville have sucked up all of Broadway, all of Nashville. They've raised the cost of living there because they go there and they buy up all the land, and they buy up all the houses, and they buy up everything, and all the corporations buy up everything, which causes more homelessness. So whatever happened to Riley, I'm not saying there was foul play. I'm just saying that I think that once you get to a certain point in your life and you've been in that type of situation in your life, and you find someone that is just, you know, not alive, what are you supposed to do? Because, you know, they're in a situation that the first thing the cops are going to think is someone did something. So I feel terrible for Riley's family. I feel terrible as a mother, because I feel like this poor kid didn't have to end up this way. And I feel like I have prayed about it, and I have really, really, really tried to be as, he's not even my son, and I've been trying to be as forgiving as I can. But for Nashville PD to close the case and say that it is done is unacceptable. And I believe that someone, they're not going to talk about it though, knows what happened to him. They know how he got in that river because they took his pants and his boots. And I feel like there's more investigating that could be done. I feel like there's more questions that could be asked. And I feel like his poor family is going to be another one of those families out there that's never going to know. So I hope that, I hope that there isn't anything in the toxicology report that says he was roofied. I hope that, you know, obviously they just did some pre-drinking like kids do. But I hope that, you know, conscience will get to someone and say that it will drive them to ask for forgiveness and be sorry, is all I know. But that is the video for today, guys. I know it's about Riley, but it's really hard. I have another very interesting situation that went on. It happened last year in Arizona, but I find it very disturbing as well. So I want to talk about it in the next video. So I will see you all soon. Kamsahamnida. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for watching. Please share, like, subscribe. The channel is growing slowly but surely. but it is growing, and I thank you all so very much for doing that. And please continue to do so. And I appreciate you all so much. And I will see you in the next video.